Janet Blair. Janet Blair was born as Martha Janet Lafferty on April 23, 1921, in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Both her parents were musically inclined. Her father led a choir and her mother played piano and organ. She started her career as a singer with the Hal Kemp Orchestra. Blair began her film career in 1941 under contract with Columbia Pictures. During World War II, she became a pin-up girl in the March 1944 issue of Yank, the Army weekly magazine. She's well remembered for roles in films like My Sister Eileen, 1942, and Tonight and Every Night, 1945. In The Fabulous Dorseys, 1947, she portrayed a singer, reflecting her musical roots. After being dropped by Columbia in 1947, Blair took a hiatus from films due to dissatisfaction with the roles offered to her. She returned to film in the 60s with roles in Night of the Eagle, 1962, and Boys' Night Out, 1962. In 1950, Blair took on the lead role in the American touring production of South Pacific, performing over 1,200 times in 3 years. During the tour, she married her second husband, producer-director Nick Mayo, with whom she had 2 children. Blair also had a notable Broadway role in the comedy A Girl Can Tell in 1953. On television, she starred in a live production of One Touch of Venus, 1955, on NBC. Blair made guest appearances on various variety shows and was a cast member on Caesar's Hour, 1956 to 1957. She was a guest panelist on What's My Line in June 1957. Her last significant TV performance was in a 1991 episode of Murder, She Wrote. Blair also ventured into radio, co-starring with George Raft in a 1942 episode of Lux Radio Theater. She recorded an album of standards titled Flame Out for the Dico label. Blair married Louis Ferdinand Bush in 1943 but divorced in 1950. They had met when she sang for Hal Kemp's band. 2 years later, she married Nick Mayo, a television producer, with whom she had 2 children. They divorced in 1971. Blair's performances were appreciated in both dramatic and comedic roles. Her contributions to entertainment spanned several mediums, leaving a lasting legacy in the industry.